Hello students, in the previous class we have discussed the gastric gland. We have discussed that the associated glands, we have started the associated glands. First we have discussed the salivary gland, then we have discussed the gastric gland. Today we will start our new gland, that is your liver. Okay. So first point, liver, it is the largest gland present in our body. First point, it is the largest gland present in our body. Okay, means sometimes your objectives can be asked, and it is one of the most important and common objective, that is, there are so many glands present in our body. Which is the largest gland present in our body? So your answer will be liver. Okay. Next point. What is its length and its weight? Its length is around 15 to 22 cm and its weight is around 1.5 kg. Its length is around 15 to 22 cm and weighs around 1.5 kg. Okay. Next point. It is located beneath the diaphragm. We have said diaphragm, a dome shaped structure. Okay. So it is present beneath the diaphragm and situated little bit to the right side of the abdominal cavity. So next point is it is located beneath, means tole. It is located beneath the diaphragm and is situated little bit right side of the abdominal cavity. Okay. Next point. Liver is divided into two parts or two segments or two lobes. One is your left lobe, other one is your right lobe. Left lobe is somehow smaller and right lobe is very much bigger as compared to the left lobe. So liver is divided into two lobes. Okay, that is the left lobe and the right lobe. Okay. So these are the 4 points. Once more I will tell. The largest gland is your liver. Length is around 15 to 22 cm and weight is around 1.5 kg. It is located beneath the diaphragm and little bit towards your abdominal cavity. Next, the liver is divided into two lobes. One is your left, another one is your right lobe. Okay. Next point. Okay. Please note down all the points. Okay. I am erasing it. This is very important. Please listen carefully. Okay. Next point. Left lobe is smaller. Okay. Whereas the right lobe is larger. Okay. And the next point, The right lobe is divided into three segments or portions, that is your right proper, right caudate and right quadrate. Okay, right lobe of the liver is divided into three parts, that is your right proper, right caudate, and third one is your right quadrate. Okay, the liver is means it is divided into two lobes. One is your left lobe, other one is your large lobe, or left lobe or the right lobe. Left lobe is smaller, right lobe is your left lobe is your smaller, right lobe is your little bit bigger. Right lobe is divided into three parts: right proper, caudate and the quadrate. Proper, quadrate and the quadrate. Next point, bile is secreted in the liver. Okay, what is bile we'll read in our next class in detail. So next point is your bile. Bile is secreted from liver and is stored in gallbladder. Okay, gallbladder is a small pear-like shaped structure present beneath or the lower portion of the liver, in which the bile is being stored, and the main function of the bile is to digestion of the various fatty acids or fat basically. Okay, so your point is the bile is secreted from the liver and it is stored in the gallbladder. Okay, apart all these, some larger cells are present in the liver. Okay, apart these, some larger cells are present in the liver that are called the Kupffer cells. Apart this, some larger cells are present in the liver called as Kupffer cells. Okay, which act as phagocytic in nature. Okay, we have discussed earlier what is phagocytic. Phagocytic means anything that engulf the bacteria, microorganisms and the various foreign particles. So some important, this one is some Kupffer cells. Okay, Kupffer cells also helps in eliminating the aged RBC through the fecal matters. But the main function of the Kupffer cells are, these are the larger cells present inside the liver, which act as a phagocytic in nature. Means it helps in engulfing the bacteria, various microorganisms, various foreign particles. Okay, so now we'll discuss the various function of liver. Now come to the main functions of the liver. We will step by step we will discuss all the point. First is your glycogenesis. Okay, glycogenesis means what? If excess of glucose is present, it will convert into glycogen. Okay, excess of glucose is converted into glycogen. Okay, how will you remember? See, glycogenesis means glycogen. Obviously glycogen is the product or the will found. Genesis, cis means formation, lysis means breakdown. Always remember, genesis means the term will the formation and the lysis means the breakdown. Okay, so we can say the glycogenesis means glycogen is being formed. So we can say excess of glucose if present is converted into glycogen. It is the first function of the glycogenesis. Next function is your glycogenolysis, means glycogen is being break down. So we can say the breakdown of glycogen into glucose. Breakdown, lysis means breakdown. Breakdown of glycogen into glucose. Okay, these are the most important functions, please remember. Next is your gluconeogenesis. Another term, once more the term is coming, the genesis means the glucose is being formed. So we can say the glucose or the formation of glucose, if the glucose is being formed from fats, fatty acids and protein, then that process is known as gluconeogenesis. Okay, so we can say formation of, see, gluconeogenesis means genesis, gluco means glucose, so formation of glucose, from fats, fatty acids and proteins. Okay, so this process is known as gluconeogenesis. Next is your detoxification. Detoxic means we are converting the toxic substance into, means the harmful substance into harmless substance. So the detoxification means the conversion of the toxic substance, or we can say toxic substance is converted, which are harmful in nature, are converted into harmless substances, such as example prussic acid. Okay, prussic acid means it is a product or byproduct of the metabolic activities of our body. So we can say detoxification means conversion of harmful toxic substances such as prussic acid into harmless substances. Okay, obviously if the toxic substance remain in our body, it will create so many complexes, so it is required that the toxic substance will be eliminated, or we can say it should be detoxified, means the harmful substance should be converted into harmless substance. Harmful substance or toxic substance should be converted into harmless substance. So the conversion of the harmful toxic substances such as prussic acid, which is the byproduct of our metabolic activity of our body, into harmless substances, this process is known as detoxification. Okay, please note down. First is your glycogenesis, means excess of glucose is converted into glycogen. Okay, glycogenolysis means the breakdown of the glycogen into glucose. Next one is your gluconeogenesis, means formation of glucose from fats, fatty acids and proteins. Detoxification, conversion of harmful toxic substance such as prussic. So detoxification means conversion of harmful toxic substances such as prussic acid into harmless substances. Okay, these are the 4 functions. Now we'll discuss more functions of the liver. Next point, or next function is your formation of urea. The ammonia that is formed after the deamination, means the amino acid, from the amino acid, if the amino group is being removed, then the ammonia is being formed, which is harmful substance or toxic substance. But when the ammonia, when combines with CO2 in presence of urease enzyme, it forms the urea, which is finally eliminated with the urine. And the urea experiment we have done, you also remember that we have taken the urease enzyme. So like that manner, your next function is your formation of urea. Urea is how formed? If the ammonia that is formed by the deamination, or the ammonia formed from the by the deamination is being combined with the CO2 in the presence of urease enzyme to form urea. Ammonia formed due to the deamination combines with CO2 in presence of urease enzyme to form urea. Okay, urea is finally eliminated by the help of urine. Okay, so urea means the ammonia which is formed from the deamination. Okay, means the amino group is deamination, means amino group is removed. Amino group is removed means it is called the deamination. By which the ammonia is formed, it combines with the CO2 in presence of the urease enzyme to form the urea, which is eliminated by the help of urine. Next is the removal of excretory substances. Okay, the unwanted particles or the unwanted substances which are harmful for our body, they are eliminated through the fecal matter by the help of liver. The unwanted substances are eliminated through the fecal matters. Okay, in the form of the stools. Okay, by the help of liver. Okay, excretory substances means the harmful or the unwanted substances that are not required for our body, those are also eliminated by the help of liver but through the fecal matters. Okay, by combining with the bile. Next is your formation of RBC. Liver is hemopoietic in nature. Hemopoietic means hemo means blood, poietic means formation. So liver helps in the formation of RBC or the red blood cell, but during the embryonic stages. Okay, liver is hemopoietic in nature as it helps in formation of RBC during the embryonic stages. Okay, means when the fetus is in the or the embryo when it is in the mother's wombs. So when the fetus or the embryonic stages, during the embryonic stages, the RBC or the red blood cells are being formed by the liver. That is why it is also called liver is hemopoietic in nature. Okay, liver is hemopoietic in nature as it helps in the formation of RBC during the embryonic stages. Next point, the breakdown of RBC and phagocytosis both are done by the Kupffer cells. Kupffer cells are, as I have said earlier, are the larger cell which helps in engulfing various bacteria, microorganisms and the foreign particles. Okay, and also it helps in the breakdown of the aged RBC through the fecal matter. So we can say aged RBC means whose the lifespan is being over. Okay, breakdown of the RBC, Kupffer cells. Okay, helps in the breakdown of aged RBC and are eliminated through fecal matters. Okay, and the last point is also of the Kupffer cells. Kupffer cells are also phagocytic in nature as these cells engulf the microorganisms like bacteria and various foreign particles, okay, which are harmful for our body. Kupffer cells engulf various microorganisms such as bacteria and various foreign particles. Okay, as it is phagocytic in nature, by which it performs the function phagocytosis. Okay, so these are your important 5 functions of the liver. So first one is your formation of urea. Ammonia, which formed due to the deamination of the deamination, combines with CO2 in presence of urease enzyme to form urea. Next one is your removal of excretory substance. Unwanted substances are eliminated by the help of liver, by the help of also the liver bile through the fecal matters. Formation of RBC during the embryonic stages. The liver is hemopoietic in nature, means formation of the blood. Hemo means blood, poietic means formation during the embryonic stages. Okay, generally the RBC is now means in our body it is formed in the red bone marrow. We will read that later. For now you just remember liver is hemopoietic in nature and it helps in formation of the RBC during the embryonic stages. Last one is your breakdown of the RBC. Kupffer cells helps in the breakdown of the aged RBC and it is removed or eliminated through the fecal matters. Finally is the phagocytosis. Kupffer cells which are phagocytic in nature, these engulf the microorganisms, bacteria and also various foreign particles which are harmful for our body by the process called phagocytosis. Okay, so these are your 9 functions of the liver. Now we'll discuss some more functions of the liver. Now come to your 10th number of function. As I have said earlier, it secretes bile. Okay, so your 10th function is it secretes bile. Okay, which is generally stored in the gallbladder. Pear-shaped structure called organ is called your gallbladder, which is located below the liver, which helps, or we can say bile helps in the digestion of the basically the fat. Okay, next one is your it stores vitamin A, D, E, K and B12. It stores vitamins A, D, E, K and B12. Okay, means it helps in the storage of various vitamins such as A, D, E, K and B12. Next point, it secretes heparin. It secretes heparin. Okay, it secretes heparin which act as anticoagulant. Okay, heparin is an anticoagulant, means it is present in the blood which helps in preventing the clotting of the blood. Okay, you know, when the blood comes out of our body, after some time of the flowing, the blood is being clot. But inside our body, why it is not clotting? Because of the presence of an anticoagulant that is called heparin, means it prevents the blood from the clotting. Next, your next point is your it helps in alcohol metabolism. Okay, it helps in alcohol metabolism, means it helps in the, we can say, the metabolism of the alcohol. That is why it is said that for the persons who largely consume the alcohol, their liver gets damaged very soon. Okay, so last function is your lymph is being synthesized in the liver. Lymph is synthesized in the liver. Okay, as you know, I have said earlier that the blood, lymph, these are the various body fluids, okay, and the lymph that present various WBC which helps in providing immunity to our body. So we have so far discussed important 14 points of the functions, and the 10th one is it secretes bile, okay, it secretes bile which is secreted by the liver and gets stored in the gallbladder, which is a pear like structure which helps the bile, which helps in the digestion of the various fats. It also helps in the storage of the various vitamins such as A, D, E, K and the B12. It helps in secreting the heparin which act as the anticoagulant, means it is present in the blood which helps in preventing the clotting or the coagulation. That is why it is called the anticoagulant. Next function, it helps in the alcohol metabolism, means the alcohol that is consumed, it is metabolized, the alcohol is metabolized basically by the liver. So if the more amount of alcohol is anyone consuming, then it is very chances of the damaging of the liver. Last one is the lymph, which is also a body fluid in the various in which the various WBC is present, which helps in providing the immunity. It is also synthesized in the liver. Okay, so this is all about your liver. Your homework is to, I will send the material. Please note down the introduction part of the liver and write down all the points, all the 14 points of the functions of the liver. Okay, please remember the initially I have written that the glycogenesis, gluconeogenesis, all that points you do remember properly. Okay, so you have to write all the 14 points of the function of the liver and the introductory part of the liver, and do send to my personal WhatsApp. So that's all for today. We'll meet in our next class discussing the bile in detail. Thank you.